I'm Wolfie, your host for today, and we're going to be playing some more Nier Automata today. And apologies that we are starting a little late. I had some issues with the streaming software, which just decided just wanted to, update. So yeah. Hi. Gonna be kicking off the week. I had an interesting weekend. Played golf. Lost. I'm very out of practice with golf. To be honest, so was the other person, so we don't think... Oh, that's pretty bad, but considering neither of us had played for about a decade, we did alright. We got a couple fours, which I'm kind of proud of, actually. Also, in Star Wars. I had Star Wars, right, on Sunday. As I tend to, every couple of weeks, I have a Star Wars game. That's a lot of fun. We finally actually, went and solved a huge plot point that we'd been just putting off for ages because we've had other shit to do. And, a lot of stuff happened. I'll get into the game because so much stuff happened that it's gonna actually take a little while to describe it all. Right. I'll let the game open up and see if we get any opening dialogue, and then I'll get into the Star Wars stories and explain what the fuck happened on Sunday. It was a great session, by the way. It was absolutely fantastic session. Okay. Right. So, first things first. We went to a planet. The session started with we were above orbit on a planet that was in, I can't remember the name of the orbit. There's a kind of orbit that it is, though. Basically, it's a locked orbit around a star. So it doesn't change. So the star, well, the planet rotates around the star, but the sides don't change the facing. So one side is, I don't know if this is real. I think it is. So one side always faces the star, the other side never faces the star. So one side of the planet has become just set on fire permanently, and the other side is permanently frozen. And this is how this started. And right in the middle, there's like a little, I think it's meridian line. There's like this little line that is, it's basically kind of temperate and livable. It's not great because it's like 200 yards across because it's a very small planet. Yeah, I thought it was. I wasn't 100% though. See, yeah. There was this little thing, and this little line, and it had a balanced temple of the Force, basically, on it. So it was like kind of half light side, half dark side. And everything about it, the temple was like all about balance. So one of our companions, our talky former Jedi Padawan, was having like weird voices in his head the whole campaign, and when we went there, the voices started going insane. And they started just screaming about us to be joined together. And all that kind, the kind of crazy stuff that demon type things always go nuts about. And while he... And so we went into the temple and we found the first set of doors, they need to be opened by having... We figured out after a very brief, like, guess from one of our party members, that we had one of the people who is more aligned with the dark side and one person who's aligned with the light side stand on either side of it. The doors will open. Like, anyone... The light side is the ice side, and the dark side is the fire side. Okay, it made more sense to me that it would be the other way around, but sure, I'll guess. It makes sense when it comes to, like, emotion is all classically fiery, and emotion's all about the dark side, and what ice is, like, stationary and pure, so that's the dark side. That's the light side. Which I guess is like, yeah, that makes sense. So we got into another room to do it, which, it basically had a couple of giant statues, which, if anyone's watched the Clone Wars, like I have, if anyone's watched that, there's a few episodes where they go onto a planet which is really strong with the Force, and there's like the two giant there's like the three giant immortals. There's like the old man, the daughter, and the son. That the son turns into a giant bat and he's the dark side, and the girl, I think, turns into a bird and she's the light side. It's something like that. Or is it a griffin or something? Then there's the old man with the balance. There are a couple of statues which showed the sun on the door, basically. Which we went, okay, that's kind of... Which most of the party went, I don't know what the fuck that means. But the two party members who'd seen the Clone Wars, our characters were going, I don't know what the fuck that means. And our two, and our players were going, oh my fucking god, this is so cool. So, there was that. Our Padawan character decided to sit in the middle, on this little platform that we found, which was just in the middle of the room. He decided to sit on it and meditate. So we went, okay, that might work, that might be a way to open the doors. The rest of our party, so he was in a complete trance. We then decided to fumble for about 5 minutes because the dark side user in the party, I say the dark side user, they're quite a nice character comparatively to what you'd think of. They're not a Sith, they just managed to fall to the dark side due to anger issues, essentially. And it was basically force-sensing them, so then the rest of the party was more or less left to its own devices to try and open the door. But we didn't have a dark side user, and we thought we probably needed a dark side user to open the door. The only force user we had who was unoccupied was the main light side user of the party, our little optimist pilot, and my character, the big stompy mercenary Barabel. My character, Master Swordsman, but mercenary personality, so he's kind of in the middle, but he's more aligned with good than bad, so he's ended up so far, like, being more light aligned than dark aligned. mostly due to very high dice rolls in the morality listing more than anything else. So my character was very impressed when they were going, oh yeah, you stand, I'll stand on this side, the light side users, and then you stand on the other side, because you're, like, morally grey. And I went, first of all, really thanks for your, like, judgment of my personality, that you basically just called me a piece of shit, in a really passive-aggressive, in a really, like, nice-ish sounding way. You just called me a piece of shit, basically. So that didn't work, so we needed to actually get the dark side user to stop paying attention to the meditating one for a minute and actually help us out open the door. They went okay, they weren't particularly happy to do it, but they decided to do it to help us out. So the door opened. Unfortunately, this literally dropped the platform into the floor that the meditating character was on. So he was fully meditating in a trance, didn't know what was going on around him, and suddenly he was falling. So we had a little break, where that character's player literally dropped out of the call, so he didn't know what was happening with the rest of us. As we basically went, oh fuck, we have to find him. It decided to explore the rest of the temple, so we went through the door. Because opening that did open the other door, it just also dropped the platform. And sealed up above him. So we went, well, we'll carry on with this because he might end up being, like, at the end of the tunnel. We essentially went up the tower. Hey, finally. We started following the corridor that it opened up. It eventually, like, led to a lot of other extra little doors where we just did the same kind of thing. But the big one was it led to a library. This library basically had every single book on the Force that you could possibly think of. So we had, like, one side of the room had full of Jedi texts, all the, like, all the basic things aligned with the good side of the Force. The other side had a ton of things related to the dark side, like all the Sith archive, a bunch of the Sith archive books and things like that. And the ones in the middle were some really fucking weird books. Like, a few of them we could read, but most of them were, we didn't know what the hell they were saying. But we basically gauged they're ones that are kind of like in the balance. There was not many books in the middle. So we obviously, as a good party, as this really honourable, noble party, decided to rob the place of as many books as we could fit in our backpacks. Which was a lot less than we would have liked, annoyingly, because most of us had come prepping for a full-on war, essentially. So we had, like, a lot of our heavier weaponry on us at the time. So we were only able to carry so many. And the books were fucking heavy. The canon's encumbrance 1 each, where my character has an encumbrance of 16 as the strongest party member. But I was also carrying a minigun, so I was sat at encumbrance 14. So, we're doing a bunch of books. Got a little bit of conflict for what I essentially named Petty Theft. And it switched to the other player. The other player essentially had a Force nightmare because he woke up falling, right? Because he was literally falling because the platform dropped out from under him. But thankfully, he didn't fall too far. I'm going the wrong way, actually. So what happens when I get caught up in a story? The other player went the wrong... just kept falling. Literally woke up and asked us, what the hell did you do? Because he literally had dropped out of the Discord call while we were doing the other stuff.
We've got company. Looks like machines.
Alert. Jamming signals detected from enemy units.
Yeah?
That's not good.
Ow! Let's roll these numbers down a little bit, I think, first. Okay, this one I need to actually concentrate a little bit, so the story will continue soon enough. Quick save. Okay.
Enemy machine lifeforms eliminated. Access point returned to functioning status.
Bunker to 2B. The signal from the access point just came back online. Good job.
I have some information about that, Commander.
Go on.
The access point went offline because machine lifeforms were jamming it.
Which means they know that facility is one of our network terminals.
Yeah, but that's not all. While they knew it was connected to our network, they didn't try to destroy it. It's almost like they were trying to lay a trap.
Damn. They're getting smarter by the day. Thank you. I'll be sure to share this with the Council of Humanity on the moon.
Understood.
Sweet. Get extra XP and level up. Okay. So where was I? Oh yeah, they were falling. Basically got abused by nightmares. I don't remember the exact ones because I took the opportunity to go and make sure my cat was okay because she was freaking out at that point, so I left for a little bit as that part because it was a different player, took the full spotlight, we weren't there, so we didn't necessarily have to know everything that happened. And we weren't allowed to talk about what we'd just done because obviously it was supposed to like potentially make him doubt, basically. Can we open this yet? Nope. So that happened, he basically just had a few forced nightmares, basically. It ended up at the top of the temple. To make about half an hour story a lot shorter, he basically had a lot of forced nightmares where he got like abused by essentially the force ghost of his master, who's not dead, by the way. His master's turned evil, but basically was like blaming his character for all this bad stuff that had happened, and like he was absolutely worthless. Which he was going, nah, that's not what my master would say. Even if my master's a piece of shit, he wouldn't say that kind of stuff. So he just didn't believe it. got his lightsaber back somehow in this dream. We're still not entirely sure how that happened. Because obviously he was a Padawan, so he had a lightsaber. It was a shitty it was a say it's a shitty lightsaber. It's an ordinary lightsaber. So it had nothing like none of the special unique traits that the other party members' lightsabers have. But it's still a lightsaber, so it still holds its own. I need to go find Pascal. Where's the map? And they ended up got to the top of the tower and they found their master, who is a Sith, and we knew they were a Sith for a while, or at least a very possessed dark side force user. Like, not a nice guy at all. Like, full on red lightsaber, evil eyes, the works. So he started a conversation with him. It was not going well. Right as all our characters went up the came back up the top of the stairs. Our reaction was essentially, it was like, oh yeah, I knew we'd find him. It was my character's reaction, and their character went, hey guys, thanks. We're killing this guy. Oh, we're not killing this guy. We're fighting. And so the party went, got it. And just immediately went from, oh hi there, how you doing? To, okay, we're in combat now. Against a former Jedi Master turned Sith Lord. And he was quite a brutal fight. The fight went weirdly, and had some very, very cool, very funny, and very, like, oh my fucking god, how moments. First one of which was he nearly cut the party member that was his Padawan. So the Padawan player nearly cut him in half with the first hit. Like decent sized crit, big amount of damage. But then he immediately got healed up by our pilot, who rolled really well. Unforced heal, so it healed the critical injury and it fully restored their hit points. He then decided to jump over at my character, who was stomping towards in his classic way, because it had taken a couple turns for us to actually get close. And he jumped, force leapt in front of my character, and got a crit of rolled a 95 on the critical hit, because he had a lightsaber with a flicker blaze blade, which means you can't parry it. It makes it more inaccurate and deal less damage, but you can't parry it, which is a pretty brutal upgrade to fight against some actual, like, good parry characters. My character's pretty good at parrying melee weapons, and lightsabers included with my great lightsaber. But he ignored the parry, so it got a crit. He rolled a 95, he had plus 40 on the weapon, which would have put it to, like 130 something. Basically, he put it in the range of, because 150 is dead, by the way, just straight up dead instantly. He got it to a point where it was, you die at the end of initiative. But he hit my character. My character's the party's tank. So, it downgraded. I have an ability which downgrades criticals by a amount. If I actually get it enough, I can actually reduce it to not a critical injury at all. Unfortunately, it was still a very, very high roll, and my critical resistance is only about it's only 30 at the moment. So it was still fucking hurt. By the fucking hurt, it rolled down from you get killed to you get your leg cut off. So my character went down like a mountain. Essentially, like a mountain collapsing. So my guy's like a my character is a massive barrel. He weighs about a ton. And one of his legs just got sliced out from under him. So he didn't he landed with basically a boom. And that leg was like annihilated essentially. It was like that ain't being fixed. That ain't getting put back on. So my character went down, but my character had his next turn. And he's also a bit of a badass. My character, essentially, his response to getting his leg cut off was first to roar in absolute pain. Because, I mean, he just had his leg cut off. But then, in a move which I am so proud of.
Hey, stop right this instant! No! Get away from me, dummy!
What was all that about?
No idea.
Excuse me, can I ask what happened? Oh, this is so embarrassing, but you must know I was arguing with my child. Boy just resisted me, he's gonna run off to who knows where. Terribly forward, would you mind finding him and bringing him home? Come yourself, Raz. No swear, I don't know. Agree. What's it we can do? Here, look at you, you big softy. Sure, why not? Yes, so... that basically my character had his leg cut off.
So this machine mother has a child, eh? It's surprising to see them form familial units like that. I wonder if they'll let us examine their brain circuits if we bring the kid home.
Your scientific curiosity is getting out of hand, Magnus.
Joking, I'm joking. Mostly.
But my character has an ability. But my character was still actually surprisingly healthy, despite having his leg cut off. It didn't even reduce me to half health, because my guy is an absolute tank of a character. I have twice the hit points of quite a few of the party members, and the tankier party members, I've still got a over 10 advantage on them, I think, in terms of health. My guy's an absolute unit, basically. It has an ability called a headbutt, which means I suffer 2 damage, but it immediately dazes and knocks down my opponent. So I basically said, okay, this is how he does it. My character uses his tail and levers himself back to his full height, towering over the master, because my guy's big. And essentially just oak trees down on top of the master, just smashing my character's forehead into the master's. So knocking down the Sith Lord and...
Careful, Tupi. I'm picking up hostiles.
I'm guessing it's this.
Over there.
Hey, kick it.
Easy there, little guy. It's all right. You weren't scared, were you?
We should leave before more enemies arrive.
Come on, kid. Don't be unreasonable. Any ideas, 2B? I've never dealt with a snot-nosed machine before.
You got me.
Uh-oh. More enemies incoming.
I'm on it.
Mommy only ever praises my big brother. My little brother broke a plate once and she blamed me for it. My big brother punched me, but somehow it was my fault. It's not fair. I hate my mommy.
Aw, don't say
I
that.
hate her.
Where'd it go up?
Oh, stupid mom.
Are you finished? Your mother is worried about you. She sent us here to find you. So quit with the whining and let us take you home already.
Well, this is a weird quest.
Stay close, all right? Don't go wandering off.
Hey, mister. Was mommy really worried about me?
She sure was. So let's go home and have you apologize, all right?
I'm gonna cut the story for the moment, just in case there's any more talky bits of these. Come on, kid. Let's not piss off the wildlife while we've got a escort quest done. You're a magnet for trouble, kid. No range attack up. That's a new one. Okay. We're getting there. really kind of like how this thing works. I'm honest. Ah, you're back. Thanks so much for bringing him home. Selfish child, how dare you make me worry like that? You don't need to get angry about this. Don't cry. You had no idea how worried I was. Oh, please don't cry. This is alright. Should have said that. Come on, get yourself home. I have to thank these nice people for helping me. Bye, androids! Sometimes this child's nice. It's just a bunch of bolts right around an empty cave. Never imagined how hard it was for me to disconnect from the network. Constantly misunderstanding each other. Still, on those rare occasions we connect, make you so very happy. I can see that. Thank you again for bringing him home. Isn't much, but I haven't. Deadly heal plus 3. 10,000 gold. That isn't much, but it's everything you could ever want. Thank you. That was kind of sweet. We should understand where that network sounds from. True, but it seems kind of fun. Family squabble. Quest complete. Okay, so back to the story. Where was I? Oh yeah. So my character got his leg cut off, headbutted the Sith Lord to the ground, and then slashed it in with my great lightsaber. Then the party proceeded to like beat the guy in for a bit. One of our shooty characters shot like this big weird crystal amulet that he was like holding out, which the Sith Lord basically went, well, I guess it's only blood it is then. Because he's been trying to talk like the Padawan to into essentially like joining him, as far as we could tell at the time. There's some sort of weird ritual thing that would make the voices like combine together, was what we figured out. Yeah, the voices in the master's head and the voices in his character's head. It would kind of merge into one set of voices. So we shot that, blew it up. It flew off the side of the temple, so that thing ain't coming back. It blew up and then flew off the side of a massive temple into a giant ice field. So yeah, it's not coming back. And we then proceeded to beat up the Sith Lord, who essentially used this like huge force pulse to, which made all four of us who were in melee with him have oh god, my ears need stopping in a moment. I got pressure in my left ear. Okay, that's a little better. Pressure headaches suck. But yeah, I'll finish up the story here, and then we'll actually get onto the main quests. So we there. So yeah, he presented a massive force pulse, which was essentially force push on all of us. So we all had to like roll discipline or resilience against it, which we rolled pretty well. Like me, the two. Oh yeah, it was. So the party members that were going were our gank dark side user, who's kind of like they changed their character up recently, so they are no longer just a pure sniper. They are pretty good at shooting, they're pretty good at melee, they've got some like weird, cool utility abilities. They're like a general purpose all-round combatant. They have a lightsaber and a summonable force blade and things like that. And they have their sniper still. We had our pilot, who is our main combat. Basically, he's a combat magical healer. Because use the force to heal people. They have. They do wield lightsabers. Not amazing at using lightsabers. They're okay. I think they've got level 2 lightsaber, which is pretty good. But they're not like a pure lightsaber character. They have other shit that they mainly do. We have a medical droid, who is the whole shebang. It's basically the intelligence character. Huge amounts of knowledge. Really good at like surgery and actually doing doctory things. Really good mechanic. The whole shebang. Oh yeah, our pilot is also pretty good at mechanics. And then there's my character, our big melee brawler with lightsaber 4. And lightsaber 4 is very good, by the way. So we all got basically our preferred stat of the 2. If we were 3 of us were force users, so we got the option between discipline and resilience. The 2 other force users went with discipline. My character, he's pretty good with the force, but he's a lot more physically powerful. So my guy decided to just brute force. To try and brute force through because I had a much higher dice pool. And unfortunately, our little droid really didn't have much of a choice. I rolled 5 successes and 4 advantage, which is pretty good. Like, it's a little... I think it's a little above average for the dice pool I had. It wasn't anything crazy. And, like, the others rolled decently, apart from Medical Droid, who rolled pretty bad. Unfortunately, the Sith Lord rolled insanely well, so he didn't roll nearly any advantage, so he basically just killed his strain to do this. But, he actually passed with 6 successes and used, essentially, Uber Force Push to throw the 4 of us as a group off the top of the roof. Of, like, a 40, 50-story building. Essentially. So, we were falling as a group, so we all had, like, we need a moment to actually comprehend what the hell we're gonna do. But then my character was the first to recover-ish and was just... Okay, since I can't get back to it, because I asked how far are we away from the temple, am I, like, able to stab my lightsaber in, like, drive myself back up? We were, like, 30 feet away from the temple. So I was like, well, that ain't happening. So my character, because my character is very protective of the other party members, he's the big tank, he's a brute in combat, but he's not a bad guy. And he's very, like, like, older brother kind of personality. So my character, being much bigger than all the others, decided to basically gather all of them up in his huge arms and just put his body between them and the ground. So if they would fall, he would impact first, and it'd maybe cushion the fall a bit for the others, so there's a smaller chance that they'll all die. Completely futile attempt, but he had to try. It's the kind of thing he is. And it's like, I literally got an R out of some of the party. I went, shut up. It literally was an aw moment from them. It's like, he's gonna die, but he's trying to help out. The others all had plans to, like, they might be able to live. My character knew he was fucked. He didn't have any way of getting out of it. He had one leg, and he wasn't doing great. So then our party's Padawan, who's had the only person in the party who's Force Move, grabbed with Force Move. He rolled his Force Move so he could grab us and bring us back in. Unfortunately, he only had enough. He only rolled high enough to get 3 of us, and there were 4 of us flying. But the GM basically said, okay, something in your mind, you can tap into the voices, the power that the voices are giving you, which is like, you can use this, and it will help you, and it will save your friends. And it basically added another dark side. Pip if he did it, and he took some damage, but he could, if he wanted to, he could basically use the evil in his brain to get a bit of a power boost and save his friend. So he did that. He only used it once, because he only needed one more to do it. But he could have used it a bunch of extra times, it turns out, which would have really hurt him. But it would have really fucked him up in conflict. But it would have also given him a shit ton of power. So he dragged us all back, we beat down the Master. Got into the building, and then the voices were saying stuff like, well, we must do this while the storm holds, and things like that, because there was the ice storm was flooding out, because turns out, on that planet, if enough people are on it that are with one side of the force over the other, then it goes out of whack, basically, and one of the sides of the planet starts overpowering the other, and we had slightly more light side users than dark side users. So it started fucking up the planet. Like, the ice was basically pushing back the ice side, which was the light side, started pushing back the dark side and causing a massive storm, basically. And it was coming like it kept saying things like, oh yeah, it will all fall and stuff like that. So my character, after hearing what basically was repeated to him of the words, decided, wait, the summit will fall. We have to get the hell out of this building. And the others were going, oh, but we can do this, we can do that, we want to save this master and things like that. My character's like, no, we need to get the fuck out of the building. We don't have to kill him, we don't have to leave him here, just get out of this building. I don't care where we go as long as we're not here. Which eventually just emphatically, the one-legged man, or the one-legged giant lizard man, essentially managed to convince him, we just need to get out of here. I don't care where we go, get out of here. You know, I was carrying my leg and using, like, a party member's sniper rifle as a walking stick, essentially, at the time. So we all, like, went down, we got outside, we got to the base of the temple, there was a huge hurricane going on. We also discovered at this point that, the voice in the head of the Master and the Padawan were, a Sith Lord that had basically managed to mind transfer himself into the gem. And then had, when he'd been picked up in the past, which the Padawan had his mind, like, wiped about, he basically possessed him. And then the Master sacrificed his own brain so that the Sith Lord would go into his brain and leave the Padawan, basically. And that's why the Master was acting so differently, is because it actually wasn't the Master, it was the Sith Lord. The Master is still a Jedi Master. And we got into the ship. Basically, the pilot force leapt to the base of the ship, got inside, did a really good couple of piloting checks, we all got onto the ship. But then our Padawan character, we got like a disadvantage of it, so our Padawan character had to roll a discipline check. And for that brief moment, he failed the discipline check, and the brief moment, the bit of the Sith Lord that was in his brain took over just enough to shout, no, we must do the ritual. Basically that kind of, we must do the ritual now kind of shtick. My character and the rest of the party, and including the actual player, thought, oh god, he failed the discipline check, so he's gonna have to fight the party as, like, Sith possessed, essentially. Shut up, 9S. So my character after his character just shouted that, went, right, got it. Headbutting him. Because it had been enough time so that my headbutt had reset, because it's once per encounter. I went, does this count as a new encounter? And the GM went, yeah, it does. So my character just headbutted him to the floor. My character's really good friend. Just got his head basically caved in. Didn't do any. Headbutt doesn't do any damage, by the way. It just instantly activates 2 status effects on the character. I mean, probably smarts quite a bit. So yeah, it turns out he actually wasn't possessed enough to actually act in any way. He just was possessed enough to shout. So essentially, he just got headbutted in like mild concussion for essentially no reason. Which I went, are you okay? You're in control again. My character, at this point, fully convinced that the way to stop the Sith Lord from possessing him forever is to basically just give him a good bash on the head. Which, yeah, that was basically the end of the session. So I told you it was quite a long story, but it was good.
Oh, it's 9S and 2B, yes?
Let's carry on with the gap.
Those machines cost quite the ruckus, don't you think?
We need to talk.
Of course. I'll help however I can.
Pascal. Pascal, why do you choose not to fight? We've been alive for hundreds of years. We lost countless friends time and time again. But losing friends isn't what scares me. What scares me is the fact that I've grown used to seeing those I care about die all around me. Oh, Jesus. So I decided I had enough.
Yes, 2B?
Okay, that makes sense. You become too jaded, basically, is the point, Pascal. That's about the aliens. Do you know anything about the aliens? The aliens? You mean the ones who created us? I'm sorry, there's not much I can tell you. We've been fighting for centuries without a single message from them. I guess you could say that the fact they never give us orders anymore is also the reason why we quit fighting.
Yes, 2B?
That makes sense as well. Ask about the other
Pascal.
machines. Oh, here
Yes,
we go.
2B?
Aside from this village, are there any other machines that are cut off from the network?
I suppose that unpleasant songstress you so kindly defeated in the amusement park wasn't part of the network.
You mean that singing thing?
Oh, and of course there's the Forest Kingdom, but
Forest Kingdom?
yes, it's a vast woodland area not far from here. There's a group of machines there attempting to build a nation of sorts. They're quite hostile to outsiders, however. We can't so much as go near the place.
Where is it?
Northeast of the city ruins. You should be able to reach it by passing through the ruins of the commercial facility. If you go, however, be careful. Things have been rather rough there lately.
This Forest Kingdom sounds like something we should check out.
I agree. Mainly because that seems like the next story section. My house in Wolfie. I'm reaching comfortable life end. I need a house. Sure, sometimes nice to woman, cozy, but I always free. It's the 2 different personality types, really, isn't it? Can I get there yet? I'm assuming not. Yeah. I'm gonna need something specific, I think, to get that one. Nope, let go. And then you go find the Forest Kingdom. Forest Kingdom, so there's the picture, I'm assuming. Photographs. Manager's request, wandering couple. Hey, we need a shit ton of money to help them out, didn't we? So where is it? Is this the Forest Kingdom? Now something in the desert. I mean, that's a big area, so we probably should go to that. Okay.
Say, 2B,
What?
when do you think you'll be willing to call me Nines?
9S works just fine.
Well, yeah, but...
That was a no. Essentially. Okay, so is it that way or do I have to go around? That's what I can actually do. Which point is that? Desert oil field. I can actually teleport over there with fast travel, so I think I'll do that. Got mail.
Operator 60 to 2B. Come in, 2B.
I read you, operator. Go ahead.
It looks like the transporter we installed in the city ruins has gone offline. Our surface activity is going to be severely limited until we get it fixed. Can you head over there and get it working again when you have a sec?
Will do.
Thanks, 2B. Sending the details now.
The city ruins one, isn't that the main one? Yeah, that's the middle one. I should go and do that, actually. That's
Report.
quite amazing.
Mail notification received from access point.
Oh, that wasn't the mail.
Analysis. Non-functioning transporters can result in serious limitations to data uploading and other vital mission activities. Recommend repairing transporter as quickly as possible.
Understood.
Oh, it's because we are chat about that. Inbox. So mission notification. As I mentioned, less communication. The access point of this city is malfunctioning. Data upload functions. Transport functions. As a team, possible cause include faulty. Putting terminal maps leave a radio interference being missing enemies in the area. I did say check it out, thanks. Yeah, let's quick save again. Let's go and smash up some robots. Go on, 2B, start sprinting. You get stopped by bushes, apparently. Oh, no, it's over here. Is it just going to be another huge swarm of bots? Yes, it is, apparently.
Alert. Hostile machine lifeforms detected in the vicinity of the non-functioning transporter. Jamming signals detected. Hypothesis. Transporter malfunction is due to enemy jamming signals. Proposal. Unit 2B should destroy the enemy machines.
Repair.
Is that all of them? Let's check this thing out.
Yeah, it still works.
I don't see any damage.
Analysis. Transporter is now operational.
This is Yorha Unit 2B. Connect me to Bunker Operator 60.
Oh, hello, 2B. Operator 60 here.
The transporter was being jammed by machine lifeforms. It should be working now.
Looks green on my end, 2B. Nice work. I'll let Command know right away. I'll also be sending over a little reward for all your hard work.
Roger.
You know, 2B, I'm a little jealous. Don't get me wrong, I know all this fighting isn't easy for you, but you get to see all these new and amazing things out there. It might be nice to visit the surface sometime, you know? That's all.
I see.
No.
Right. Apologies for the unnecessary chatter. Anyway, Operator 60 out.
I like 6-0. I got something for doing that. Sample gadget, medium recovery, 3000 G and 600 XP. Thank you so much for repairing the access point. Sorry I'm always putting you through so much trouble. I present you a little reward or your hard work if you like it. I like 6-0, she's awesome. I also think I recognise the voice actress, but I can't quite place it. That said, I know the voices of voice actors and actresses a lot better than I know their names. I'm very bad with names, I always have been. It's why I give people, like, nicknames. I give people a lot of nicknames, and quite often the nicknames stick, to be honest. Like, I don't try to give them bad nicknames, I just give them a nickname. Which, like, works well enough for them. It's also because I'm terrible at naming. I'm also terrible at naming things. Like, if you see nearly any of the characters I name, very few of them in things have actually good names. I'm kind of proud of a couple of them, but usually I'll like look up a name generator and things and go with one of those. I'm not usually too crazy about making names. Like my Star Wars character's name is Orga Khan. Because I saw a meme that day and I saw a meme which was the oh, what's her name? 02. Like, what do you want from McDonald's? Orga? Meme. I saw that the day I made it. I just went, yeah, sure, I'll do that. I need a second name. What's a decent one to go with? Essentially Burger. And I went Khan, because Khan essentially means king. So I named the character essentially Burger King. And people didn't figure it out for a while. That the character's entire name was a joke. Yeah, I've always been bad at naming characters. I just have. The only character name that I'm like reasonably proud of that I've ever made, because I actually came up with it, but I'd say completely unique name, not just a name I looked up essentially in the name generator. Even my LARP character, Ari. That is just straight up from like an old Norse name generator. So I like looked up the meaning of like words in that and what could be used as names for like Viking characters essentially, and I got Ari because it just means like brave. Yeah, I did say he's a beefy character as well, yeah. Yeah, but the only character I'm reasonably proud of the name is my MMO character's Bellari. That's my generic like MMO character name that I usually go with if I feel like playing an MMO. I will go with Bellari. That's pretty much the only one that I'm actually kind of proud of a name. Because it actually does feel like a proper fantasy name, and I genuinely came up with it completely uniquely. I'll save the story for how I came up with that particular name, like, in my own time. But it's like a decent, unique name. I've never seen it taken in most of the MMOs I've ever played. I can't think of any off the top of my head that has... it's been taken in. I think it was back when I played WoW. It was my old WoW character's name. And it's my character's current name in FF14 and things like that. So I just like it. I just like it. But yeah, it's the reason that is my proudest name, so that's why I'm not good at naming characters. Even in like even in role-playing games, I'll tend to have my character referred usually by an epithet rather than a name, because the names are so bad usually. I'm sad, we didn't get to play Wrath and Glory. We were supposed to play Wrath and Glory this weekend as well, but the GM basically was too exhausted from work to run on Saturday, which was a shame. But we will get to play again at some point, and I'm looking forward to that. So what's over here?
Is this a pod?
Hypothesis. The owner discarded this pod and left it in safe mode. Motives unknown.
Why was it abandoned? Pod, reactivate it for me. If it's usable, try to overwrite the original owner with my ID.
Activation complete. Access granted. Previous owner ID successfully overwritten. Special weaponry now available.
Is there any difference between these two pods? Other than they just look different? Oh, missiles. Okay, I dig it. I'll give this a try. So the different pods actually just have different weaponry attachments. Oh yeah, I've actually done that now. So that was definitely worth going to. I didn't even think you could get a different pod in this game, if I'm honest. So where are we heading to? That's our current destination. Where the hell are we? Ah, we're over here. Okay. So there's nothing really else out in the desert, is there? Oh no, there is. Mysterious letter. Hey, we might as well. We're in the area, right? It might give us a chance to test out our new rocket launcher. I'm not entirely sure how we slid up a sand dune there, but sure. Box. Hello. I guess. Enter and be welcome. He opened the door. The hell are the trials? Take the trials and according to the rule, I wish you good luck. You're not one of us, respect this rule, so I won't kill you. Tried to look at the trials 100 times, but I haven't been able to clear a single one of them. Rules are everything you hear. As long as you abide, you'll be fine. Rule: respect must be paid when undertaking the trials. Always return a greeting. Pursuant of rule that we shall bear witness to the trial. Demands you stay quiet during the trials. Per rule 60,000 odd. This is off limits to anyone not taking the trials. Okay. Now deceptions. This is a sacred place we worship masking the rules. As per that rule, I provide explanation. In this place we select the true masked one. In order to become the true masked one, 6 trials must be overcome. Possess the will to continue register for the service. You wish to continue the trials. Indeed. Trial of the Sand. Very well. You are not allowed to use items in the arena, so keep your hands where I can see them. As per rule, I should accept your request to challenge the trial. Trial wish. No, I will not do that actually there. If it recommends level 25, I will wait, because I am only level 20, and the last time I tried fighting enemies 5 levels higher than myself, I got my ass handed to me. So... good to know that. Good to know. I have to remember to come back here when I'm level 25. Map. Okay, where are we heading? I guess that's the Forest Kingdom entrance kind of area. We're in a sandstorm. Kind of annoying. It's on my screen. Ah. Kind of sleepy. Whee! I'm enjoying this game. I also need to play some more Monster Hunter at some point. I also completely forgot to ask the friend of mine if they'd be free tomorrow. So probably going to end up being... I might still have a guest. I've got another person who said that if I wasn't able to ask the person I originally intended to be on, they'd potentially be up for something. So I'll ask them. It was this Dwarf Kingdom game I think they really wanted to play. And they did a third person who is at least somewhat familiar with RTS style games. It appears to be like a 3-person cooperative RTS, which sounds interesting. Which, I used to be pretty good at RTSs back in the day. This was a very long time ago, bear in mind. I used to be, yeah, RTSs, I was at one point in the mighty history of time, I was Platinum League in StarCraft 2. In Wings of Liberty, bear in mind. Yeah, I was Platinum in there. I got to Platinum League, which I was very proud of at the time. I played Protoss, and I mostly got to Platinum League by understanding how to use High Templar. That's more or less alone what got me to Platinum League. They hit hard. I imagine that'll overall be pretty good. I'm really liking my build currently. I've essentially built myself a Death Knight again.
Yeah.
Now, as long as I can just either keep constantly attacking or back off for a moment to heal. Back off a moment to do my auto healing, I'm essentially indestructible. It just means that I need to upgrade my defense at some point. I think this is where I needed to go. I also got a cut on my face. Not sure it's that noticeable. But you can kind of see it. Yeah, I got a cut one evening, which is nice. I'm assuming I had a little spot or something there, and I like clawed it during my sleep. Yeah, I was right. So it's crossed the bridge. I'm known to be quite a restless sleeper, apparently. I'm apparently both very cuddly and very bitey in my sleep.
This must be the commercial structure Pascal was talking about. The records say it was once a facility known as a shopping center.
Still not that one.
No getting through here.
Maybe there's some kind of mechanism we could engage?
That noise was ominous as fuck.
If we were human, we probably would have gone shopping and such here, right?
More meaningless conjecture.
You're so serious, 2B. You know that?
Alert. Multiple machine lifeforms detected above our position.
All hail the Forest King. All hail the Forest King.
Oh, the heck is the Forest King?
You're getting distracted.
Well, what do you expect? I'm a scanner. Combat was never meant to be my forte.
I am the Forest King.
Check this guy. He's just running away.
It's going to explode! Huh? Hey, where am I?
What's that?
Hey there, guys. What's up?
This thing's weird, 2B. Let's kill it.
Wait, what? No!
Good idea.
No!
Okay, what was that?
From what I've been told, that is the head of what... That is like... There's a dev... The main dev of this game always wears that. I think that's what someone told me. So now can I open this? Nah, this is still locked. That is... I guarantee that is like a story lock, though. That was pretty fucking weird. Oh, thank you, tiny grinning head thing that looks like it's from Soul Eater.
Looks like the forest is just ahead.
Damn. Pretty. Forest zone.
Aim for the enemy androids. Engage battle mode. Now fight for your king. For the king!
Here they come. Better keep your guard up.
I'm aware of how to fight. You just be careful.
I will, 2B.
These machines.
They were
we
talking
level?
about a king, right? I saw what looked to be a castle further in. Maybe we should take a look.
It's Machine King. That's the picture. Sweet.
Hold on. This is one of the places in that resistance member's photographs. Better record the coordinates.
Again, this game is damn pretty. Missiles, not great against pigs. These are not anti-porcine missiles. stun locking it pretty well though. When they actually hit. They're gonna taking out lots of small fry though. Fuck it. I got an offensive heal and a deadly heal. Are they different? I suppose they have to be because they're different names, but what's the actual change?
We must protect our king and kingdom! We must show our foes when we royal knights are made of! We must show them!
Interesting. So these are the Royal Knights.
No falling back! Fight! You have lived your whole life for this singular moment! For the first time!
What is with these guys?
Don't listen to what they're saying, 2B.
No, it's kind of funny. I'm assuming the Boris King's a boss. Or is that freaking head? It's one of the two. Oh, you're actually quite high level. Thankfully, while being quite high level, you're also quite weak. Maybe deadly heal is where you get healing for actually killing things. I think I've got offensive heal. I think offensive heal is the one where you just deal damage. You heal on dealing damage. Eagle eggs. Why do I have eagle eggs?
Ready, aim, intruders, get information now. Take position, keep going, don't be afraid.
Why? Probably should be afraid.
Ready, aim, intruders, get information now. Take position, keep going, don't be afraid.
I do really like how 2B interacts with a lot of things. It's very grim 95% of the time until she decides not to be and she's a real sweetie. Correct. Yeah, it's a story plot area. Cool though. Or maybe I have to complete a different trial first. Maybe that's another trial. It looks like one of the trial doors. But as I said, I need to wait for 25 and then I'll join in that. Mushrooms. Whee! I'm in a hole.
So those machines had a king? But how can a concept like loyalty be understood by a machine?
That's actually a pretty good question. Not gonna lie. I suppose it actually does make sense that a machine can understand loyalty. Ow! Guess I'm having the moose shot earlier. I was like, why the fuck did you just attack me? Ooh, box. Yeah, we immediately got a small recovery back. We win. Oh, hello. Sweet, I guess. Oh, there's another one. This gives us a bit of XP as the arenas. I'm still grabbing these. Birds.
I'll never let you pass! Die, androids!
Okay. I'm gonna clear out the small fry with that while watching the big one's attacks. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. I thought that thing would actually have a lot more health than it did. And hit a lot harder. But you could just power through most of its attacks. I mean, it hit hard, don't get me wrong. Like, 400 odd damage is a lot. But I was expecting, like, how much health do we have? We have 2,000. I was just expecting like a 900,000 damage hit. I believe so. They're androids, but I'm not entirely sure what an android is considered in this game. They might just be just robots that look like humans. But I believe they're at least a particular kind of machine. But they seem to have, like, some level of a personality. and emotions and things, which is more than most machines
Yep,
have.
this looks like a king's castle, all right.
Or at least that most machines are supposed to have. Ooh, is this an actual box? Oh, this is a locked box. Damn it. Ow!
Don't let them go any further! Stay strong! Move!
Watch out for hostile enemies, 2B.
Roger that, 9...
Huh? Wait, what did you just say?
Aww!
Roger that, 9S.
Wait, no, that's not what you said. You said 9s. Or at least something close to...
Cut the chatter and engage the enemy.
Ah,
Aww! Oh, God.
Stay strong! Move!
Yeah, stand strong, I dare you. Oh, hello. I get a strange feeling that you're not supposed to do that. I think that guy's supposed to be a lot more of a threat than he was. The shockwave attacks are utterly broken in this game. Evade range up.
You'll pay for this, invaders!
No, we
Don't
won't.
let them take anything else from us! Leave our kingdom!
You come in there, Ninus? You get a lot of XP from this. Can't, I'm assuming we can't save in here. Yeah, we can't. That's annoying. Okay, what I'm gonna do... I just realised the time. So I'm gonna fight my way back to the front. Save again. Because I've realised the time we're actually going to have to end fairly soon. I think that's supposed to be like this is supposed to be like a huge area. So I want the leisure to explore it properly. So we're going to save. I'm going to do a big save actually as well, just to make sure. Cool. And we'll see where we go from there. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Have a fantastic evening. Every single one of you keep playing video games, keep being awesome. You guys are the best owners on Twitch. I'll be back tomorrow with something. I'm actually not entirely sure what we're playing tomorrow, but it'll be something. I hope you guys tune in and enjoy. So, I'll see you guys around. Have a fantastic evening. A good night.